November 1989. Rajiv Gandhi had lost the elections. The Congress party was in the opposition. Rajiv Gandhi's former finance minister VP Singh was heading a coalition cobbled together by parties holding disparate philosophies. By the end of 1990, the BJP, an electoral ally of VP Singh, decided to launch a nationwide rath yatra, a chariot pilgrimage in support of building a temple in the disputed Babri Masjid site at Ayodhya. The BJP withdrew its support of the VP Singh government when L.K.Advani was arrested and the rath yatra halted. The political uncertainty that followed camouflaged a grim reality. Economists explain that over the past 40 years, a series of debatable economic decisions had led the country to the brink of financial collapse. Chandrasekhar, the young Turk who had stood with Mrs. Gandhi during her fight against the old guards in 1969, had by now replaced VP Singh as Prime Minister. By May 1991, the country was in the throes of yet another election. And during this campaign, Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated by a human bomb at Siripirumbudur near Madras. By June 1991, the Congress party came back to power once again. But economic realities were such that the government headed by Narasimha Rao and its finance minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, decided to take one of the most radical breaks from the past.
When our government came into office, foreign exchange reserves had totally disappeared. We had no money to import even the most essential things which we needed. No foreigner was willing to give any loan to India. Even the non-resident Indians who had kept money with our banks, they were withdrawing money. It was in that difficult situation that we had to pledge gold with the Bank of England to raise even a small loan. That was the situation which we inherited. It was a very humiliating thing for India, and we resolved that we must create an environment whereby such things will not happen.
Ironically, the same Congress which had for the last 50 years sworn by socialism and supported a command economy was rewriting a new economic agenda. Almost every one of the shackles which curbed private enterprise was now being withdrawn. Suddenly, India was being viewed by the world as an emerging giant, with the potential of being on par with the economies of the Pacific Rim nations.
The purpose of the economic reform of '91 was to bring out this tremendous spirit of adventure and enterprise which exists in our country, to bring it into the open and to use it to build one of the most dynamic, competitive economies of the world, and simultaneously a compassionate society.
By 1995, these cars rolling out of a state-of-the-art factory near Noida in Uttar Pradesh symbolized one other facet of India's economic profile. Economic historians contrast this with these advertisements appearing in Indian newspapers in 1947 for bicycles, most of which were cobbled together from imported elements. 50 years later, in 1997, in these modern factories, cycles are manufactured by the thousands to be exported all over the world. A village near Hyderabad, Pochampalli, is today famous worldwide for the weaves which go to make saris that carry the unique label of its geography. And these modern textile mills in Ahmedabad produce denim material, which makes Arvind Mills the third largest producer of denim cloth in the entire world. In some ways, the narrative of contemporary India's economic growth is fused with this interweaving of the traditional and the modern. With liberalization, a new phase in the country's economic agenda has begun. The unshackling of the economy does not mean that the basic problems facing the country have all disappeared or that they can be wished away.